Folks, ladies and men across this great nation of ours, welcome to our Saturday interview. Now, today we do have a very interesting interview. The manager of the 1982 AL Rookie of the Year team. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you for having me.
hey, anytime, man. Anytime. You know, you hit me out. I'll post an interview with you any day, to be
All right.
honest. 7 days a week coming at you. All right, so we're going to start off. Now, I'm not going to clown you, right?
Okay.
But I'm going to start off with a little bit of something I found a little funny. So we get a text in our group message last week. Who was it you picked up? Carpenter, I think it was.
Yep.
Picks up Carpenter, shoots the group of texts, and he goes, "Hey, man, just picked up this guy. I feel like this is a turning point for my team." Pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Gonna be
pretty
honest, I laughed out loud. I thought it was funny. You know, I picked up 2-3 guys at a time, putting up big numbers, still lose games. Okay? So I was like, okay, that's pretty funny. You know, guy got jokes. And I think I sent a message back that was just like, you know, coming from the mouth of the guy with like a 20% chance of making the playoffs. Okay?
Yep.
You know, that's just how the group message is. We talk smack. My guy comes out last week, and you beat the number one team in the league, 8-1, Ronald Reagan. All right? I'm no longer laughing. What do you attribute that win to? Because honestly, that's a big win. I think everyone in the league saying hallelujah, praise the Lord.
Well, I give it to the coaches. Coaches had this team prepared this week. Coach Peterman, he's got the starters all going. They know what to expect from him. If they come in with a bad outing, they'll get this stare.
That mean mug. That
Yeah,
mean mug.
they'll get that stare from Coach Peterman. And they also know that if they don't produce, they're going to get cut.
Fair enough.
Kopech this week didn't produce.
He
He went away. Bye-bye. I picked up Walker Buehler. I know he's on the 15-day disabled list, but that's okay because you know what? When he comes off, he's going to turn it around. Just like Matt Carpenter, the past 4 seasons I've played in a fantasy league, Matt Carpenter has been my thorn in my side. So I picked him up, and he's now producing. I watched who is it? Gonzalez. He's pitching tonight for Seattle, I think it is. Yes, he's supposed to be an up and comer. Arnoldus Chapman. Once he gets off the DL and doesn't produce, bye. I have no qualms about getting rid of people.
See,
that's guy. I don't care. I don't care who he is. I don't care how much you make. If Coach Kramer tells me that this guy in the infield is not producing, Coach Peterman tells me that the guy in pitching isn't producing, out they go.
he's gone. Now,
Yep.
see, here's what's very interesting about that, right? I'm sure you watched the interview with Joel.
Yep.
I know the whole world did. It's very interesting because the way he looks at things is he's like, hey, look, you know, there's some guys where I know they'll produce at some points and they may have some downslopes, but I'm going to hold on to them, you know, through their rough patches. So I see two different sides of the coin where you say, hey, you're not producing, you're gone, right? He says, hey,
Yep.
you're not producing, but you might, you know, and I'm going to have faith in you and I'm going to hold on to you. What puts you in that position to say, you know what, it's more worth it for me to just dump the guy than to wait it out? Is it the fact that right now you're in third out of fourth place in the East, fifth place overall, which is actually a good place to sit? I think you're up to almost a 50% playoff chance, which is great. You're inside the top 5 in the whole league.
Right.
But is it just kind of you trying to claw your way back, or is that a mentality you've had since the beginning of the season?
Oh no, that's the mentality I've had in every fantasy league I've played in. You're not producing, you're going away. I'll find somebody who wants to produce, who wants to play. I have some great scouts who are looking at the roster waiver wire every day, saying, "Hey, like Patrick Wisdom, I brought him up. He's producing." There's some guys I will not even think about getting rid of, Gleyber Torres, one of my favorite players, he's on my team for life.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Altuve, you don't produce, you're going away. I know people are like, Jose Altuve going away. Yeah, I'll trade him. I don't care.
Yeah. It's also a
Like
cheater.
in my fantasy hockey team, I'll play the entire season without a goalie because goalies cost me points. It's
Mm.
easier to play and get more points without a goalie than you do with.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with that.
Okay. So looking at your roster, you have two guys that are actually very, I guess, your top guys. You have Rafael Devers, who's actually currently first place in All Star voting.
Yep.
I can't remember how many points he has for you. I think it's like 242 this season.
229.
229. And then
Yep.
you have Garrett Cole. I feel like those two guys are kind of that staple for you. Now, to be honest, Garrett Cole, if to be 100% honest, if he wasn't on the Yankees, I don't think he'd produce the way he is.
Oh no.
That's
Oh no.
just me.
Yeah,
Um,
he has 231. He had what do you have? 11 strikeouts yesterday.
yeah, but the wins is what gets you points. Like some
Yep.
of those things, and even right now to have a pitcher that's on like the Indians, right, where their pitchers aren't getting wins, but they're also not getting losses. They're getting these no decisions because they're coming back late in the game, where the Yankees are just winning games from the first inning, right?
Yep.
Is it also something where you look and you go, this guy doesn't have as many points, but he's pitching for the Yankees or he's pitching for this team or that team, that even when he doesn't pitch well, you'll at least be able to pull win out of it, pull 10 or 11 points out of it. Is that something you look at, or what are you looking at when you're looking to bring somebody up?
Well, when Coach Peterman and I are sitting here looking over this, who they're playing, who's he pitching against? Oh, he's pitching against the Pirates. I like the Pirates. Let's just say the Pirates aren't a strong team. Oh, he's pitching against the Blue Jays. It could be a little tougher. You put up negative points. Now you're into the. Let's see. You could possibly be going away next week. You put up negative points 2 weeks in a row. You're going away. It's
No.
it all depends on who we're playing and what the scouting is. And like you said yesterday, Cole pitched against Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
He had a no-hitter go until the 8th inning.
Yep.
Lost it.
Took a no decision, yeah.
Yeah. Lance Lynn pitched against Toronto yesterday. Got the win. Picked up Kendall Graveman. Coach Peterman said, hey, get Graveman. I did. Picked up the save.
Nice. Yeah, I do tend to like. I like to run kind of a mixture of bullpen pitchers to starting pitchers. You have to have the starting pitchers to get those 20, 30 points out of. But you also have to have those guys that are going to be pitching day in, day out, maybe every other day or whatnot to get you those 6, 7, 8 points. Because those can be a big difference. I know there's teams like Ronald Reagan that run like 30 pitchers and like 5 batters.
That game gave me a scare because going into Friday night, I think it was, we were tied, and Saturday I was up by 10. I'm like, I remember what you said, you got to put up some points on Sunday.
Yes.
And I think I put up like 48 points on Sunday.
Yeah.
So.
And that's how you beat him. That really.
Bye-bye, Mr. Reagan.
Goodbye. I don't even think he's number one anymore overall. I think he's
tore
tied.
down that wall.
I think he's tied for number one overall now with Joel, who I believe won this week. So they both have 2 losses. And then I know I'm third overall. Let's see here. Yeah, Pablo Sanchez are both 8-2. Fantastic. So it's nice to see Ronald Reagan have actually, a little scare. So a couple questions, not league. Well, actually, one last question, league related, and that's going to be, where do you see yourself finishing at the end of the season if you continue this roster changes and that kind of thing? What's your goal? Are you trying to be second, third overall? Where do you want to sit?
Yeah, second, third overall is good. Playoffs will be fine. I think that'll make a successful season. I know I had to, beginning of the year when I had like 3 or 4 losses, I had to sit myself down and have a talk and said, look, dude, I'm going to have to pick up a new manager if I don't start producing.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of straightened that guy out, so we're producing again. So
And that sometimes that's what it takes, sitting yourself down, really
yep,
deciding what the team needs to be successful and what's causing failure right now. And
yep,
you have to be honest and address those issues because if you don't, you just end up like Joe, who I think now has 2 wins, so he's like 2-8. Was on a, I think he started off 1-0, eight game losing streak. You got to be honest. You have to be honest, and that's one of the hardest things for managers and coaches and owners to do.
well, that too, like we were talking about with Joel last week about keeping their players off the IL.
Mm,
I know that's Coach Rick Simmons and I. He's been working these guys, making sure they're not going on the IL.
that's a big one.
I
That's
say,
huge.
Richard, sweat them to the oldies, man. Keep them off the IL.
Yep. They don't do any good if they're on the bench, or on the IL. So we're gonna move into a couple fun questions here.
Okay.
Get your opinion on some of these. So, DH or no DH?
Oh
What's the
yeah,
thought?
DH.
DH?
DH.
You
Yep.
think
Yep.
DH both leagues?
I do.
Do you
I
understand how
I
controversial that statement may be?
I do. I like what watching pitchers try and hit, but I also know that if you come up with guys on second and third, 2 outs or 1 out, yeah, even and this pitcher's coming out, he's just gonna take some hacks and go sit back down. That's But now you got another player who deserves to be out there, calling him your DH, like Bryce Harper
Mm-hmm.
has been my DH. Yeah. Now you
Okay.
can't pitch around anybody. You have to pitch them.
I think that's fair. I disagree, but I think it's a fair assessment.
I like the
Um,
DH.
what I asked this to Joel last week. I think I'm actually going to ask this to everybody.
Okay.
What do you think is the worst major league ballpark? Worst stadium?
I'm not real fond of Colorado.
Ooh.
I'm not real fond of Kansas City. There's certain things I hate about San Francisco. I hate those cars on the wall.
that,
But I love
that-
McCovey Cove.
okay.
I'm not real fond of Angel Stadium, but I love the rocks in the outfield.
Okay.
Arizona, I love the swimming pool, but I hate the field. I hate the stadium.
So what do you put at the top? Worst
The
one.
Houston's.
Houston.
Yep. They
I
got they got rid of that.
they got rid of the hump.
I love the hump in the outfield.
The hump.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest. That's probably the one thing that broke my heart in recent days in baseball is the hump going away.
Yeah.
I think it was good for baseball. It was good for the stadium. Gave it that little uniqueness. Then you have teams like Baltimore trying to do unique things, and they move that left field wall back, and it's just awful. Ruins the game. But that's just me. And then the last thing, if you have anything to say to the rest of the teams in the league, now's your chance. This is your open forum.
I think once we get down to the end of the season, I do win this championship. As my one coach Raines says, you will acknowledge me.
Those are some strong words. Coming from the 5th overall team, third out of 4th in the East. He's calling his shot, boys. We got a Babe Ruth on our hands. We have a Babe Ruth calling his shot,
Yep.
calling the league out, calling the other owners out, and
See,
he
you
ain't
guys
doing it softly.
Just jabronis. So
Well,
I brush off my shoulder. Acknowledge me.
acknowledge him. Boys, bow down, I think as some folks say. Well, sir, thank you for coming on. Thank you for interviewing. Thank you for making it fun.
welcome.
We look forward to see what you do the rest of the season. We'll probably sit you down. I'm probably going to go through everybody again, kind of further at the end of the year after the All-Star break. We'll kind of see how you feel, especially getting closer to playoffs. So, all right.
Watch this now. I'm going to go on like a 4-game slide. So
Well, you did talk some smack. That's usually how it happens.
that's
But
the way
hey,
it has to be.
everybody's going to talk smack on my show. So
Yep.
it's going to happen. All right, man.
All right.
Best of luck. I look forward to talking to you soon. Peace.